Thank you, God. One, I want to say thank you so much because it's an honor to be endorsed by the Frisco area Democrats. So thank you so much for the endorsement. Thank you all for entrusting me to be able to represent this city at the highest level of government. And earlier today, I was at a chili cook-off, and I was talking about unity. I wanted to talk about how it was important that for us to be successful, it was going to require us making sure that we come together and realize that the only way that we win is by working together. Making sure that we reach out to our neighbors, our friends, and maybe the people that we don't like as much, to let them know that ultimately that we have to see that the issues that we're dealing with today don't have to be that way. We have somebody in office. Thank you. It doesn't have to be that way, right? I know everybody's eating, so if you give me a head nod, that's good. That'll work. So everybody can keep on eating. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have somebody right now who represents our district. And instead of supporting education, he picks to introduce a bill that would reduce the federal funding for anybody who teaches U.S. history. We don't need that. We already are struggling with our school systems as it is. Being a former educator, I've experienced that firsthand. I had to work with Title I funding and figure out how do I use the federal funds to benefit all these students that had so many different needs but had the potential to be great. So looking at somebody who just willy-nilly takes away federal funding because we're teaching history is alarming to me. Not only that, but he also uses his power to racially charge our community in a way that makes people that immigrated to our country feel alienated. And now, I was speaking to somebody and I talked about how I felt when I moved out of Texas. The first time I moved out of Texas, I moved to Georgia. I lived in Georgia for about 4 years. And for the first year, I felt alone because I didn't know anybody. The only people I knew were my cousins, and they lived on the other side of town, right? So it was a lonely feeling. Now imagine somebody moving across the ocean or moving thousands of miles into our country trying to sell and restart their lives. It's a lonely feeling and it impacts people. And to see people right now, like our representative, that would introduce a bill that would tax people or fine people $1,000 a day for overstaying their visa when our immigration offices are backlogged for almost 5+ years. So right now, if you look at it, over 5 years they're backlogged. They don't have the system that they need to make sure they're adequately processing documents, and to put those people in a place where they're not really causing any problems. They're just coming here looking for the same dream that we're all after, which is the American dream. Finally, when it comes to economics, I'm all about the money. How many of y'all all about the money? You want to make sure, yes. In the leadership of our current government, well, not the current one, but leading up to where we are now, taxes has gone up exponentially. The prices of food has gone up, especially brownies. I had to bake some brownies. It cost me $5 to buy a box of brownie mix, right? And that's before you buy the eggs and the oil and everything else, right? So prices are going up, property taxes are going up, and just the cost of living is impacting us. And people are there literally exacerbating that. It doesn't have to be that way. And for me, what I want to do is that I want to go into government and pass common sense legislation, introduce bills that helps us, that continues our growth, so that our kids can get the world-class education that we can afford. So we have access to health care, so that nobody has to die from a preventable disease anymore. So, thank you. So, once again, I thank you all for trusting me to be the type of representative that can adequately represent our district. I thank you all for always supporting me and being like the kind words, the emails. I see them. I may not respond to every single one, but I do see them. I do see the endorsements, and I appreciate those things. And I'm telling you guys, in November, we're going to see a big change because I know we're doing 3 minutes.
Anyone have any questions? I'll do my best to get the microwave.
Hi, Gail Stevens. First of all, welcome and good luck to you. What is your district geographically, number one? And number two, my immediate response to your opponent, and doing that is for him to use the playbook to sharpen those distinctions.
So geographically, the district includes 12 different counties. In Collin County, we have the west part of Collin County that includes Plano, Frisco, Salina, Prosper, and parts of McKinney. So those are the areas. So everything, literally, if you look at the Dallas Tollway, also the city of Dallas that's in Collin County. So if you look at Dallas Tollway, most of those areas are in District 4.
I want to ask you a question because Lori Birch, she was District 3, right? So that also was Collin County, Frisco, Plano. So where are these distinctions?
So on the southernmost border of District 4 is George Bush Turnpike. So we have that area going down to like Frankfurt Avenue or Frankfurt Road. Then on the west part is Midway Road. So Midway all the way up till you get to the top. Then when you go to the western border, depending on where you are, because it is gerrymandered, it has been redrawn, and the lines that do a little squiggly thing. You have Custer in the far north part, so everything west of Custer. As you get into Plano in the South Collin County area, pretty much everything west of Alma is part of District 4. And then you have some parts that is drawn, like cut out in the middle that goes back into District 3. So pretty much generally, you do have to, it is one of those districts where you have to look and, kind of get yourself familiarized with where you are in the district because they did a number in Collin County. Collin County used to be in majority, everybody was in District 3. Except if you was like far north, like in Anna. Now they pretty much what they did is that they took the line, they expanded District 3 into Hunt County, and then they moved the CD4 line down into Collin County on the far west area of Collin County. Now the good thing about that is that the area of Collin County they pulled into District 4. That area actually turned out higher for Joe Biden in 2020. So that is something that is, a green light for us. Like we have opportunities. And let me not say green light, let's say a blue light. All right? Yeah. For us. Because it lets us know that the people that in this area or in this part of Collin County understand the importance of the races that are at hand. The second question you asked is about the distinctions between myself and Pat Fallon. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna say let me. Oh, here.
I do suggest from a marketing and communication standpoint that especially with the redistricting, the ones that it's important that people know where not only they fall, but if we want to be able to help support you and volunteer, we know where we stand. So I would really highly suggest that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And the thing, what I will say, to comment and expand on what you just said, there's 3 parts to getting people to vote, right? The first part is voter registration, which we've been doing pretty good. We've been getting people registered. We do have to increase our voter registration efforts. We need to get more people registered. We need to find people that are moving in. Luckily, our data person has been able to identify who's moving into Collin County, who's moving into our areas. We just need to get people that are willing to go out to those homes and get them registered. We have Mr. Matthews over here who's working on our apartment communities to make sure that they're registered to vote. If you guys are able to contribute in any ways, these are the efforts that helps us increase the voting capacity. The second part is voter education. People want to feel safe in their votes. People want to know that when they cast a ballot, they're casting a ballot for what they believe in. And a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, I don't vote because I don't really want to get into politics, right? I know some of you guys have heard that. But you know what? That is a safety mechanism. People say that because politics has gotten so grimy and it's gotten so dirty that they don't feel comfortable voting because they don't want to feel like they're contributing to the wrong or being on the wrong side of history. So we have to make people feel safe in their vote by educating them and giving them the information they need so they understand why their vote is important.
Yep.
And the last, which is the easiest and the hardest part, is make sure that they turn out to vote. So what I am hoping that we're able to do or come together as people who are very active, that are knowledgeable and feel comfortable in our vote, is to be able to hold ourselves accountable to reach out to people and make these people our kind of like our circle of people that we're going to make sure that they turn out to vote. And we're not talking about people who already vote often. We're talking about people who are inconsistent, new voters. Like, take on 20 people. If we each take on 20 people that are inconsistent voters or new voters, and we make sure they vote, I mean, the math is right there. That's almost, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's almost like 400 to like 500 votes right there that we can guarantee that would help us. And how many votes did we lose in the last election? How many people didn't vote? Or how many people?
In the last Frisco election, we were down to 125 votes.
Right there. So
125. I mean, that's like, what, 2 for each of us? Or 3? Something like that?
yeah. So it's easy. It's a numbers game. So all we gotta do, I know now the new thing is CRT and math, right? We got to figure out, it's a numbers game. All we have to do is beat our opponent and get those extra votes. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And we're going to do this.
Just want to make sure that anyone has any other questions? Okay, then we're going to move on to our next